future's journey is seldom worth the effort when a day's labor leaves us with less than we had the day before.
More. That is a ceaseless cry that will never be satisfied.
There is an ache in our hearts, a longing for love, joy, peace, a place we can call home.
Being a child is the purgatory every boy must suffer till he is able to shed his adolescent skin and become a man.
God's blessings are bestowed in just measure in accordance to one's worthiness. Amen.
Adulthood, a ceaseless refrain to accept your place, your plight, and expect no more than which is given to you, and be ye thankful.
Life is nothing more than a sack of manure.
His favorite. On Christmas Day, to save us all from Satan's power, miracle astray. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy.
Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Sorry, Mr. Scrooge.
You call this store clean, boy? Think you're better than your old man and shirk your chores because of all your fancy book learning. You mock me again, boy, and I will teach you a lesson with a horse's whip.
Like a window into an asylum, Bob.
Beg pardon, sir?
It's as though I'm standing outside a madhouse, looking through the bars. People suddenly taking the feelings of good cheer, losing all sense of propriety, engaging in activities that primarily serve the interests of others, giving gifts, donating to charitable causes. Mark me, it has no parallel in the natural world, and for good reason. Sheer lunacy. Tidings of comfort and joy. Ha!
Make plain our situation, Robert, so he knows it comes not from a sense of frivolity.
I'd appreciate a moment of your time, sir. If I may, sir.
Keep your bloody head down, boy, or you're likely to get kicked in the teeth. Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Close the door, you fool. You're letting out all the heat.
As opposed to absorbing all of it.
Merry Christmas, Robert.
A Merry Christmas to you and yours, sir.
How be the family?
Quite well, sir. Thank you for asking. And if I may be so bold, how be you married?
Likewise. Quite well. She's constantly a countenance of which I never grow weary.
Constancy born, no doubt, out of gratitude, seeing she has brought no profit to the merger.
I assure you, Uncle, there's more than one way for a man to seek profit.
Oh, is there? So what has your marriage to your penniless Mary profited you?
In a word, love.
Yes. Love. Tell me, Bob, in your ledger book, is there a column for love?
No, sir.
No, sir, what?
No, sir. The ledger does not maintain an accounting of love.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and for good reason, Uncle. It's worthless beyond measure. Where shall I put this?
Around your neck will do.
Uncle,
And the answer is no, and always will be. No!
it's just a wreath, Uncle. What's the harm?
The harm is it makes no earthly sense. We have made yet another journey around the sun, and as though you are part of the celestial dance, you have once again arrived on my doorstep, bearing a ridiculous seasonal monument, and will no likely proceed to invite me to your infernal festive gathering on the morrow, all in an attempt to advance my resolve to keep Christmas in my own way.
That's the point, Uncle. You don't keep Christmas in any way.
Exactly. So, let us no longer pretend that things will ever change.
It has been
Ever.
20 years, Ebenezer. The time is well past to stop blaming your nephew.
This first breath so closely marked the time of your last, Fran. As though some universal accounting of the living had to be balanced. A death for a life.
That is not how it works, Ebenezer.
I lost Belle and then you. It was more than I could bear.
Uncle?
Leave us, friend. Take your merriment where it will be better received.
Why do you endeavor to bring cheer where only gloom resides? No matter your persistence, love, Ebenezer will never change his ways.
There is good in him, Mary. That I am certain. Perhaps not.
Thank you, sir. Certain to be a welcome ornament of which the missus will be most appreciative.
You're most welcome, Robert. Give Mrs. Cratchit and the children our best. And Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Shan't bear it any longer, Robert. A mother should not be forced to put her children to bed hungry, night after night.
If I may have a moment of your time, sir?
What is it, Bob?
Good day, sirs. I trust the season finds you well and merry.
The season is the season, no more, no less. Is there something for which I may be of assistance?
Yes, though it is not for my personal benefit, I come to inquire your aid. It is an allegiance to a charitable duty which impels me to engage in helping to make the day a little less burdensome for those who suffer among us.
And so I must suffer your visitation.
Do I have the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Marley is dead.
Oh, my condolences on the passing of your partner.
He died, or if you prefer, passed on this very night, 7 years hence, while showing a gentleman such as yourself the door. I believe his last words were, "Get your money grubbing hands out of my pockets." He often worked himself into a rage. Poor fellow, I imagine the stress took a toll.
True, I may have been a bit overzealous in expressing my displeasure at those who are impelled to waste my time and money on those who prefer to live off the generosity of others.
I, on the other hand, have always tried to maintain a more even disposition and simply state, unless you are wishing to employ us in keeping an account of your business affairs.
No. No, I'm here on behalf of the less fortunate souls who find themselves in a desperate state. Men, women, and children who will go hungry and often have no place to stay.
You know how to treat the likes of those who come with hat in hand, Ebenezer. Press him hard.
Desperate state indeed. Do you know such individuals personally? Perhaps have provided assistance to friends or members of your immediate family?
No, I am not personally engaged in the taking care of those in need. I'm only helping to raise funds for an organization that makes it their business to provide assistance.
Their business.
Who make it their business?
Yes, well, they provide food and shelter and giving comfort in these very difficult times.
And have you witnessed these businesses engaged in this unprofitable giving of comfort?
An excellent point, Ebenezer.
Well, this is not to make profit.
Point of which I am keenly aware. My question is, have you watched as they freely distribute sustenance and shelter?
I can't say I've personally been present to witness their charitable acts.
Excellent. Make him doubt his benevolent inclinations.
I have witnessed their good works.
And fire that prattling, insubordinate fool of a clerk once and for all.
So the answer is no. And the individuals who own and operate these businesses, are they themselves homeless and in need?
No. They are men of the highest character, pillars of the community.
No doubt. But They are not in it for profit. Who pays for their shelter or their food?
Well, granted, a portion of the funds raised are needed to cover administrative expenses, but I assure you it is a small sum.
Most volunteer their time.
It's true, like myself. And there is no cost in that.
Well, it would seem that my chatty little clerk seems to champion your cause. Perhaps you're right. Perhaps these organizations are frugal with the resources you are assisting them in raising. I'll offer you this one concession. Next time, bring me their accounting books and I shall have my clerk look over them. I'm sure he'll be glad to volunteer his services for the cause. And if they are, as you say, presume, wholly on the up and up, then we can talk about the summer. Till then, good day.
Well, good day, Mr. Scrooge. And Merry Christmas.
Well done, Ebenezer.
It's all I can offer, sir.
God bless you.
God's blessing on you as well. Merry Christmas, sir.
Does it offer you some comfort, giving away a portion of your hard-earned wages?
I suppose it does, sir.
And perhaps you feel you are laying up treasures in heaven.
It is what the good book commands us.
Yes, the good book commands a number of things to keep us all in our place. And who knows? When I do find myself in heaven, if that's to be my eternal home and not the other, I might discover that I have a good many debts to pay.
Might indeed, sir.
Might. Therein lies the problem, Bob. There is no certainty, even among the faithful. It is only a possibility, not even a probability. Live one's life in the hopes of attaining an unforeseen treasure is, in a word, absurd.
So, we return again to the asylum.
Exactly.
Do we, sir?
Exactly. You're finally waking up. There may be hope for you and your kind after all. No, no, I forbid it. Shoo! Boy, away with you, or I'll call the authorities.
It's only a small, frightened child, sir.
Mind you, there are adults who send these children out, looking as though they are near death to prey upon your goodwill. Besides, this is the matter of our gentleman caller, who is collecting vast sums for the likes of our little beggar.
I doubt the sums are so vast as to satisfy all the need.
Are we then to empty our accounts in a useless attempt to satisfy an unquenchable thirst, forsaking our own comfort?
It can be of comfort to know you have brought comfort to others.
What of your own family? It no doubt gives you comfort to provide them with some additional comfort. And yet you would deny yourself the certainty of knowing your goodwill is well placed. Are not your 6 children deserving of your charity?
5, sir.
5. No, there are 6. Of that I'm certain.
5, sir.
Ladies, the entrance to the hat shop is the next door down.
Pardon the intrusion, but we wish to speak to the proprietor of this fine establishment.
To whom do we have the pleasure of addressing?
Marley, Scrooge, though one of us is dead, it matters not. For all intent and such purposes, we are one and the same. So please, continue and make haste in doing so.
Oh, we come on behalf of the church, which is in need of repair.
Yes, especially the bell tower.
Most likely due to it not being properly constructed in the first place.
No, I would not know, but it has been a great many years since the bell has been able to chime the hour.
And there are other concerns in desperate need of attention.
Yes, it is of the utmost concern to the community.
And you consider me a part of this community of which you speak.
You and your business do reside within the parish.
Anything you offer will be greatly appreciated.
As I do not attend church, ladies, I feel no obligation to assist you in your efforts.
Well, even so, a generous contribution to such a worthy cause would put you and your establishment in a most favorable light.
You don't say.
Yes, most favorable indeed. A man of your position with substantial means will surely concede.
Surely!
Surely you understand.
You say surely to imply I don't know my own thoughts. You assume I must be under some cloud, a shadow perhaps, preventing me from seeing clearly the path forward.
Pardon if my words offended you, sir. I don't wish to be presumptive. I only wish to state.
You need to persuade me otherwise. I have given you my position on the matter, laid out my views quite clearly, and yet you persist because surely I must be confused.
Well, we only wish to make clear our position
Oh,
concerning the need.
I assure you, your position has been crystal clear from the moment you entered my fine establishment, as you put it. Let us not delay the inevitable termination of your unwelcome intrusion any longer. Good day, ladies. Come, ladies, you are already wasting my time. Now you're causing an additional expense and loss of...
Merry Christmas and God bless.
This is beyond measure the most wearisome day of the entire year.
Now may not be the best time to ask, dear.
Nothing for the good ladies?
I don't attend church either, sir, at least not anymore.
The Cratchit brood no longer attending church. I find that hard to believe. I often see you and your family on the way to worship, especially the youngest, lively little chap. Tom, is it?
Tim, sir.
Yes, Tim. Good deal of spunk in that one. He reminds me of myself at that age. How is the lad?
He is no longer with us, sir.
No longer with you. I don't understand. Oh, I see. You sent him off to school. Good for you. A smart lad like him will do well.
No, sir. He's not at school.
I was about the
He's
same age when I was sent packing. Mind you, it was dreadful at first. I assure you, you'll receive many a letter of protest begging to come home. Not to worry, though. He'll come round. We all do eventually.
These letters are nothing more than the snivelings of a childish lad. I have kept them so you could see what once you were, a weakling wishing to be coddled.
It was horrible. I was terrified.
I know, but you survived.
Barely.
It made you the man you are today, son. A man who can stand on his own, who looks to no one to give him comfort. You have learned the valuable lesson that life is what you make of it. Nothing more, nothing less. Reliance on anything beyond self-will and determination leads to a path of eternal damnation.
Why did you keep me?
That perspective, a window to a previous life, a lesser self.
A child.
Children do not survive in this world, Ebenezer, so the sooner it is beaten out of them, the better.
Like being forged in a fire, pounded by the smith's hammer into hardened
Cold steel, exactly, Ebenezer.
Admittedly, it makes one durable and resilient. Loveless. Little wonder Belle has called off the engagement.
Thank God, that would have been a disastrous union. The girl has nothing of any worth to offer.
Love might have been more than sufficient. Only I had known how to express such a love.
That is the child in you that still needs to be taught a lesson. Trust me, you would have grown to resent the marriage. Like looking at these letters, you will look back at this rejection and thank your lucky stars.
William was a cruel father, Ebenezer, who blamed you for your mother's death, just as you blame Fred for the death of your sister Fran. Harboring such feelings only makes the heart grow cold and hard.
How far along are you, Bob?
I'm almost done with the tavern's accounts. They've been very busy of late. I'll finish up with the bookshop, which won't take long.
I'm done. I trust I will see you the day after tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Don't be too late, Eddie Paul. We have till the end of the year to finish up.
Thank you, sir.
Give my best to Mrs. Cratchit and the children.
I will, sir. Merry Christmas.
Yes. Be merry, Robert.
This is your chance, Robert. Ask him before it's too late.
It can keep, dear.
Don't put it off any longer, Ebenezer.
It was on Christmas Eve, Jacob. It wouldn't be right.
There is never the right time for such news, and putting it off only makes it worse. Better he know now and be prepared than thinking all is well and perhaps spending more than he should on his merrymaking.
Do it for Tim, Robert.
Yes,
Yes,
you're right.
you're right.
Robert! What?
The wolves
Pull
are
the
at the
damn
door,
trigger,
Robert.
man!
There's something I
There's
need
something
to
I
tell
need to
you.
ask you for, sir.
Oh,
Oh, for the love of God!
Is there something you wish to say, sir?
Yes. I was going to say, ask, yes. The name of the boarding school to which you have sent Tom.
Tim,
Yes, Tim.
he's not at boarding school, sir.
But you said he's no longer
He is
with
dead, sir.
What?
Dead, sir. Tim is dead. That is why he is no longer with us.
How? How did he die?
It's been a bit over 2 years since his passing.
oh, cry me a bucket of tears.
Why am I just hearing of this?
It has not been easy, sir, to speak of.
He should be counting his blessings, one less mouth to feed.
How is it that such a lad should suffer such a fate?
He was not well, sir.
Most sincere condolences.
Well, don't go soft, Ebenezer. This is of no concern to you. You've done all that can be expected of you.
Silence!
I'm sorry, sir. Don't have
No,
to
not you, Bob. You're done for the day, for today, Robert. Please, take the rest of the day.
You can't be serious.
Are you certain, sir?
An excellent question, Bob.
Yes! Yes. I'm most certain, Robert. I'll lock up tonight.
Thank you, sir.
With my best to the missus and the family. And again, my condolences.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas.
Yes. Perhaps I've allowed my heart to be ruled by too far a narrowing view of the world.
A good day to you both, sirs.
And to you, Bob. A good day to you both, sirs. Ah!
Oh, Jacob, where's the harm in the sunny disposition?
One can be blinded by the sun, Ebenezer, and end up walking off a cliff.
True, it does project a nature that is too trusting of others.
Precisely.
He's a dutiful, hard worker, Jacob. We should give him something extra, at least for the holidays. He's come to expect it.
Expectations are never satisfied. Best to give nothing and not lead one to believe they will always get a little more.
Witnessed his wife in the market a day or two before.
Eleanor?
Quite right. Though, as I recall, he refers to her as Ellie.
And the point being?
She carried herself in a manner in which one could not be mistaken in assuming they are expected.
And all Christendom is surely to rejoice at the blessed event.
Yes, which makes it all the more imperative that we give Robert a better position to advance himself beyond his present state. You know, make him
A partner? You propose we become Scrooge, Marley, and Cratchit?
Perhaps someday.
You've got soft in the head, my friend.
Why? Because I wish to reward hard work.
Might I remind you that we built this firm, Ebenezer. We had nothing. We took nothing.
We both have a healthy backing from our families and inheritance.
All of which we risked in this venture. We could have lost it all. Many do, and while we have so far won the wager, there is no certainty of continued success.
A good deal of our success can be accredited to Bob's efforts. He has more than doubled our billings. It only seems right that he share in a portion of our bounty.
Our firm, Ebenezer, ours! A firm that would not have existed to employ our good Mr. Cratchit if not for us. He might well be still working and living with his father-in-law at a pawn shop. Instead, he has a decent place to call home, a hovel. He has prospered as well as can be expected for one who is looking to work for others.
The man doesn't even have a coat.
I have a spare I can give him.
Oh, and his children. Do you have spare clothes to fit them as well?
He should have thought of that before bringing more of his share of offspring into this world. His wages would go a lot further without so many mouths to feed and bodies to clothe. You would think a man so good at balancing ledgers would have figured that out by now. But no, instead he bears yet another.
We too may have suffered the same burden had we found someone with whom to share our lives.
But we didn't!
Give it some thought, Jacob. We further discuss the matter at a later time.
How much?
To what are you referring?
How much do you propose we advance Bob's position?
Double.
Double? Are you mad?
No, we can more than afford it. It is well worth the investment in one of the firm's most valuable assets.
All right then, double it is, but only on one condition. I do not ever want to hear another mention of increased wages or the absurd notion of making him a partner unless he raises the question himself, unprompted.
It is highly unlikely Robbyn will ever question his stake.
Which is precisely my point. A man who is not willing to take the initiative to advance his own position is not worthy of the advancement. Are we agreed, Ebenezer?
I will agree to your terms.
Forever? For I will come back to haunt you from the grave if you ever go back on your word.
Yes, I agree. Forever and ever.
And you will be the one to inform him about the raise on his return, as I am sure to breathe my last if ever the words were to pass my lips.
I will inform him of his good fortune, Jacob. Though it be only a temporary reprieve of the needs outpacing needs.
He would be wise to keep a better accounting of his own affairs.
Good night, Jacob. Good man of business, Jacob. Perhaps there's more to business than ledger books and accounts. Perhaps mankind.
Sorry to intrude, sir.
Don't quibble, Robert.
I know you're wanting to
Did you forget something?
lock up.
Don't quibble, Ebenezer.
Actually,
This won't
I'm
take
glad you
long.
came back. There's something
certainly
that
know
we
it's been a
need to
good while
discuss.
since you doubled
I
my
should have
wages,
told you
and
sooner.
I was wondering
It's not
if you might
easy
see
to
a way
admit.
to once again
Failure.
increase my wages.
I have to close the shop, Bob, and let you go.
What?
The man has no heart or soul.
Forgive me, sir, but did you say you're closing the shop and letting me go?
Yes, Robert.
He finally decides to put a stake in the ground just as the tent is being struck.
And you asked me for a raise?
Yes, sir. But there doesn't seem to be much of a point to it now that I no longer have a position.
Robert, why did I agree to Jacob's demands?
What demands, sir?
I must confess, when last I raised your wages, Jacob made me promise to never increase them again unless you asked. Convinced me that a person not willing to ask was not deserving. So I promised.
Is this what it comes down to in old age? Looking back and regretting the hard choices you made to survive? Thank God I'm dead.
Beg pardon, sir, but are you saying that the only reason I haven't received an increase in my wages these many, many years is because I never asked?
Yes.
Yes, Robert, as I have been urging you these many, many years to make your claim.
I was even willing to make you a partner.
A partner!
But again, I had promised Marley.
Die, sir.
I'm sorry, Robert.
And as sorry and as regrettable as it is, I now find it unfathomable in the light of the fact that all I had to do was ask.
I understand.
Do you understand? That I will live out the rest of my days knowing that Tim would most likely still be among us if only I asked.
The grave is dug, Ebenezer. There's no going back. Put the nails in the coffin and bury this once and for all.
I will give you something to tie you over until you find another position.
Your creditors are likely to bleed you dry, Ebenezer. What can you possibly afford to
I will
give?
try to help. Make reparations.
Reparations? Are you mad? You have given the man 20-some years of solid gainful employment. He should be grateful, thanking you, and be on his
I
way.
must do something to help the poor man. Give me some time to sort things out, Bob. And I will let you know what I can offer in assistance.
Tim is buried at peace. There is no going back. You must make a stand now for us, for you. Make it right, Robert.
Yes, 20-some years cannot come and go without nothing to show for it. Why, sir?
Why?
Yes, sir. Why? Why now? Why is it necessary now to pull up stakes, to close the shop?
Not easy to explain.
Please, sir, try to explain.
Impertinent ingrate.
Back is against the wall, Robert.
Better yet, let us simply return to where I asked for a raise, and you give me a raise because I asked, and make me a partner, and forget the part about closing the shop. Please, sir?
Wish it were that easy, Robert.
What is necessary to grant you your wish, sir?
A good many things, all of which are insurmountable.
I beg pardon. No, to hell with begging pardon. I demand to know.
That's right, Robert.
I always knew he was unstable.
Give him what for.
Most likely egged on by this cantankerous wife of his.
Boot to the throat, man!
Why is it so imperative to shutter our doors?
Look at me, Robert. I'm an old man. Business is not what it was. It has fallen off late. I have neither the time nor energy to turn things around. I'm afraid if I don't act now, I'm likely to live out the few years I have left with nothing to maintain my comfort.
Now finally you're making sense. my friend.
Malarkey.
Malarkey.
I don't expect you to fully appreciate the situation I'm in.
I know full well the situation. I know our books, and I know that despite the lack of business, we have reserves that will keep us going till business picks up again.
Only that simple an equation.
It is, sir. I know that it is.
There are things that aren't on the books, Robert. Personal obligations that are beyond my control.
Don't waste your time, Ebenezer. He cannot possibly understand what a man of your position is having to deal with.
A total pile of horse manure is what he's shoveling.
Might your estimate of the extended obligations be a bit overstated, sir? Our reserves represent a healthy sum that can cover a good number of obligations.
I am sure, to someone in your position,
My position,
yes, that our accounts may seem to represent an adequate sum.
it would be enough to replace the entire church.
That may be so.
Build 2 bell towers.
Even so, you must trust me when I say it is mostly spoken for.
And might I be frank in saying, sir, that what you're telling me comes straight from the horse's ass?
The big heaping shovel full of fat.
Another waste of time.
Do you wish for me to lose my house, spending my remaining days living in an apartment?
A fate worse than death.
Oh, cry me a bucket of entitled tears.
You have no idea, do you, what it is like for me and my family?
Were our fortunes reversed, Robin, you would assuredly see things more clearly.
Yes, perhaps. Perhaps I would come round to your view. But it would not come from seeing things clearly, as you put it. It would be from falling under the delusion that no matter how much one has, there is never enough. that no sum is sufficient to make one feel secure.
Were the tables turned, you would understand that one grows accustomed to a certain level of comfort, and to no longer be able to maintain that level can be unbearable.
I grant you, Robert, that for better or worse, there are varying degrees of standards that society's imposed on us, mostly beyond our control.
Say those with the better standards.
I agree, sir. I know full well the standards of living that society is deemed appropriate for some and not for others. I keep the books. I see the subsistent wages being paid and the vast profits that are added to the ever-increasing reserves of the business owners.
Not all business owners.
True, certainly not the bookshop. So wonder they can still keep their doors open.
Our accounts have been dwindling of late.
But not nearly to the point of total collapse, sir.
If you must know, I have made some inappropriate business dealings, Bob.
Why don't you simply hang your unwashed knickers out for all to see?
Some might even call them risky ventures.
Ah, there we are.
Surely they could not have put all your fortunes at risk.
I was hoping to turn things around with what I thought at the time was a good, solid investment. It ended up going bust.
Exactly how large are the losses?
Over 3/4 of my savings.
That is a considerable loss, but you still have...
Just enough to keep me well until I am buried alongside my good friend Jacob.
It is not so bad.
And once I'm done with him, he'll wish he was already dead and buried alongside his good friend Jacob Marley.
Is there nothing I can do to dissuade you from the course you're on, sir?
I'm afraid not.
Perhaps I can help to find more accounts.
It's too late.
There are some new businesses opening up,
Not enough.
but it would be a start. And perhaps we can raise our fees a bit. It's been a good while since we upped our
I am done, Robert. I no longer have what it takes to keep up with the hounds.
Then I can do it, sir.
You most certainly have done well with the books. But you have not been in the full race of maintaining a business. You would be needing my help to back you in this venture. I'm sorry, Robert. I can't risk betting on an unproven horse.
All the self-serving, miserly, selfish people in all of God's kingdom, this one takes the prize.
He's scared.
As well he should be if he ever comes by the likes of me.
Fear has blinded him, dear, and he can't get past it.
Well done, Ebenezer. You have taken my lessons to heart and have not fallen into the trap of thinking you can save the world only to end up helping no one, including yourself.
Who exactly are these individuals who have fallen into this supposed trap, Jacob?
You know who I'm talking about, Ebenezer. There are legions of do-gooders who have lost everything in misguided charitable endeavors.
Then surely you can provide me with a specific example, a name. Just as I thought, but nonetheless. I believe one of the new businesses is an accounting shop. They should be more than happy to take you on, a man of your experience, and you can take our accounts with you.
Yes, perhaps I will inquire. In the meantime, I would appreciate any assistance you can offer to, as you said, tie us over.
Coming back with his hand out already,
I'll do what I can.
which is nothing.
Don't leave without his promise.
I have your word on it, sir.
See what I can do.
Not good enough.
What one can do is seldom sufficient, sir.
It is the best I can offer for now.
I will be expecting something.
A boot to your tailbone is what you'll get. Ha!
Ebenezer, your pocket.
No!
It has only served to bring you pain.
Don't be so foolish as to give away your safety net, man.
Be free of it.
You're right.
Of course I'm right. When have I ever led you astray?
Robert.
No, you can't be serious.
Robert, wait.
What? What is it? What is it you want, sir?
This is the Ebenezer I knew and loved.
Oh, for the love of God, can we please once and for all get over this ridiculous notion of love?
Is there something you wish to say before I leave?
Yes. Here. Take it.
Are you certain?
Yes. No longer in need.
Goodbye, Ebenezer.
I may be dead, but I am feeling ill. Sick to my ghostly stomach.
Trust me, there are a good many years of back wages in that ring, Bob. Jacob may have made me promise to wait for you to ask, but he didn't limit how much I might raise your wages. Ha! Consider this your pay and bonus for your last day.
A remarkable sum, to be sure.
Yes, I would wager it is the sum most kings and queens are not able to acquire in a single day.
Thank you, sir. You are more than good to your word.
You are most welcome, Robin. Go, spread some cheer. The loss you and your family have suffered is greater than all certain earthly treasures combined. Hopefully, you'll be a bit consoled.
God bless you, sir.
Trust me, he has. More than I possibly deserve. More than any man can possibly deserve. Just didn't know. No.
Are you all right, sir?
Yes. Get weary and tired, but I'll be fine.
Certain?
Yes. But stop your lollygagging and be off with you before I change my mind. You miss me, Robert? Anyone miss me? Mourn the loss of Scrooge and Marley?
I don't know, sir. I suppose they're...
No. The answer is most certainly unequivocally no.
Well, I'm sure there are members of the business community who will...
Stop it. It's a rhetorical question. We all know the answer. Even the most recluse individual would tell you that the horrid visage of Ebenezer Scrooge will not be missed in the least.
I will miss you, Mr. Scrooge.
Come on, be honest.
Honestly, yes. Before today and what has transpired in the last hour, I probably would have said good riddance.
Exactly. I wasted my time toiling. For what? What have I gained if it all comes and goes without anyone having been made the better for?
It is not too late to make amends. Turn the tide of opinion, as it were.
May have been an opportunity at one time, Bob. That time has passed. Once I close the shop, I will quickly be forgotten, like a nightmare that fades away in the light of more pleasing memories.
Tell me, sir, are things as bad as you say, financially speaking?
Come home, Robert. There's nothing more you can do or say here.
Don't worry
Leave
about me,
him.
Bob.
For if things are as
I'll
bad as
be
you say,
fine.
perhaps there's a way.
Robert David Cratchit, you come home right this minute.
Let not my cares seep into your worries, Bob.
Now let's hear what our good Mr. Cratchit has to say.
Listen to Mr. Scrooge, Robert. Don't be disrespectful.
But what if there were a way in which we all benefited? You keep the shop, I become a partner. I've often thought we could increase our stake if we expanded and hired more clerks, maybe even bring in your nephew, Fred, into the business so you could retire.
Fred would like that. He has always wanted to be more close to his uncle, who so often pushes him away.
I'm liking the sound of this.
How exactly do you propose we make all these changes?
Good point.
Well, making me a partner is easy. You simply say, Mr. Cratchit, I'd like to make you a partner. Scrooge, Marley, and Cratchit.
I suppose I could live with that.
You are dead.
Not to you.
All right, Mr. Cratchit. I would like to make you a partner.
Thank you, sir.
And I propose we shorten it to Scrooge and Cratchit.
Excuse me.
If you wish, sir.
I don't think Jacob would object.
Well, I most certainly would.
Putting your name on the door does not change anything.
No. But this does. With this, we can buy some time to make the necessary changes and return us to profitability.
Could also provide you and your family sustainability.
That is what I've been trying to tell you, Robert.
Even so, it would still be a limited source.
It would give you a substantial leg up in the world while you seek a position elsewhere.
Even so, it's unlikely I'd be given the opportunity to be a partner. I'd be starting all over again. I much prefer to invest in what I have and improve on it.
There is no guarantee that things will turn around.
True. I'm coming to realize that there are no guarantees. I mean, if a man like you, who could have easily lived out his years with no worries, can suddenly find himself in a financial struggle, well, it is all a bit of a game, is it not?
Suppose it is at that.
Well, sir, if you'd be so kind. With your help, I'd very much like to try my hand at the game, so to speak.
You want me to wager a bet on your horse?
I will be wagering as well, sir.
A bird in their hand, Robert.
Leaves us with only a bird, dear.
Are you sure you want to risk it?
I am, sir. More sure than I have been of anything before.
All right, then. Here's to Scrooge and Cratchit.
Scrooge and Cratchit, sir.
As partners, you can drop the sir. Ebenezer will do.
Yes, sir. Ebenezer. And here. Best if you take charge of this for now. Certainly wouldn't want it to be lost.
Strange. For some reason, it feels lighter than it once did.
We'll record the sale in the books and add it to the reserve.
No. No, you were right. Even with my losses, there is plenty in reserve to carry us through for now. Even with your increased partner wages and Christmas bonus.
Thank you, Ebenezer.
Now, be off with you. Before the missus sets the hounds loose to find her much-belated husband.
Merry Christmas, Ebenezer.
Merry Christmas, Robert.